Magandang hapon, maayong hapon, and good afternoon to everyone. Welcome to another Palm Grass exclusive. Today we are celebrating the 162nd birthday of our Cebuano hero, General Arcadio Maxilom. To welcome us all, we have the Cebu City Marching Band. Welcome to the 162nd birthday of our Cebuano hero, General Arcadio Maxilom. May I request everyone on site to please stand for the invocation to be followed by the singing of our national anthem to be led by the 𝗠𝗶𝘁 Street Children's Choir. O mambubuhat, nagampo kami kanimo alang sa usa ka sugbong hingpit nga nagbag-o. Ang sugbo nga sa mga bayani gidamgo, usa ka sugbo nga atong 𝗙𝗶𝘁𝗵𝗏. Kami nagaampo alang sa bag-ong sugbo, sugboanong maalamon sa among mga kaagi, nahiusang nagpanday pagkabot sa damgo, sa sugbong maisog, mauswagon, o gawas nun. Among mga pangandoy para sa matag bata, may pagkaon sa lamisa ug balay makatulgan. May bisting makahupay ug sa gabii nga matugnaw. Giatiman, gipangga sa tibuok katilingban. Kami nagaampo alang sa bag-ong sugbo, sugboanong dakog garbo sa among mga kaagi, nahiusang nagpanday pagkabot sa damgo, sa sugbong maisog, mauswagon, o gawas nun.
We Cebuanos aspire to be worthy in following the path taken by our heroes in their fearless fight for a land whose sun and stars forever shine for justice. whose loving embrace is everyone's paradise. We strive to become a people who love our motherland in our every breath and with every drop of our blood, sweat, and tears.
Bayang magiliw, perlas ng silanganan, alab ng puso, sa dibdib mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, uyang ka ng magiting, sa manlulupi, di ka pasisikin, sa dagat at bundok, sa simoy at sa langit mong bagaw. May dilag ang tula at awit sa paglayang minamahal, ang islap ng watawat muling tagumpay na nagniningning, ang bituin na taraw niya kailan tamay di magdidilim. Lupa ng araw ng lulhating pagsinta, buhay langit sa timog. Aming ligaya na may mang-ahapit, ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
Thank you very much to our children's choir. To our friends on site, you may now take your seats. All right, so hello. Maayong hapon, magandang hapon, good afternoon everyone. Everyone here on site, hello, and to all of us joining through our Facebook Live. Hello, I hope you are doing well, and today is a very special day because we are celebrating the 162nd birthday of our Cebuano hero, General Arcadio Maxilom. All right, let's give him a big round of applause. And of course, later on, we will have our Cebuano-wide speech contest, and our contestants are getting ready as well. Not only that, we will have some talks later on with Doc Jobers. But before that, for all of those joining us online, feel free to comment. Feel free to share this video as well. I know we have a lot of schools watching us, not just here in Cebu, but also in Luzon and the rest of the Visayas and Mindanao. Up next will be our ceremonial offering of flowers, to be followed by the blowing of our candles. Of course, we have our cake ready. So may I request the marching band to once again, earlier we had our Cebu marching band. Let's give them a big round of applause as well for that wonderful introductory music. And now they'll be playing with us again for the offering of flowers. All right. And of course, a birthday celebration would not be complete without our birthday cake. So let's bring in our birthday cake for our celebrant. Of course, with us right now is none other than Miss A right here. And there'll be, we'll have more of Miss A later on during the talk. All right. So we have here our ceremonial birthday cake. Okay. So pasigao na ni nato. And guys, not just the marching band, I want everyone to sing as well. Happy birthday. Happy Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. All right. Once again, thank you very much to our band. Let us give him a big round of applause. And to blow the cake, we have Miss A. Okay, sige. Thank you very much. All right. So thank you very much for that wonderful opening tribute for our birthday celebration, in which we dedicate this day also. Okay. So later on, we will have talks. Not only talks, but also our contest, in which we have 19 participating students from different schools within Cebu. Okay, now, also, while we are preparing for our event this month, we are also celebrating the following events. We have the National Book Week. We have the National Children's Month, and later on, Andres Bonifacio Day. Now, the good thing about Palmgrass is we really make sure that we celebrate a lot of these local Philippine Cebuano events here. It's very unique to us. And also, this event would not be possible without our partners. Of course, we have DepEd Region 7. Let us give them a big round of applause. We also have the 𝗏𝗏𝗵𝗹 Foundation Incorporated and the Central Visayas Association of Museums and Diande Heritage Center. Let us give all our partners a big round of applause. Not only partners, I will also mention this time the participating schools. All right, so once you hear your schools, give your loudest cheer. By the way, before I mention the schools, I know you have your classmates, your teachers probably watching right now. Share the link to this FB Live, okay, and so that I hope you have your respective pages for your schools. They can share as well, because you are representing your schools. And now, the recognition of our participants. We have our faculty and students from Sangi Elementary School. We have Baton National School. We have Don Andres Soriano National High School. We have Toledo City Science High School. We have Tejero National High School. We have Argao National High School. We have Magdugo National High School. We also have Abeliana National High School. And Don Bosco Technical College, Cebu. Also with us is Luraidos National High School. All right, so thank you very much for your participation. Daghang salamat. Oh, we have also, I forgot to mention, we have Mabolo Elementary School. And we have Talamban Elementary School. All right, and Cebu City National Science High School. All right, so see, we are very much open to both the public and private schools, and we hope that this contest, this event, would continue to grow in the coming years. Okay, so again, thank you very much. Later, we will have conversations about the life of General Arcadio Maxilom, his legacy. With us for that talk is Dr. Jobers Reynes Bersales. Also, after the talk, we will proceed immediately to the Cebu Island-wide hybrid extemporaneous speech contest. And the theme is, how do General Maxilom's ideals live on in today's modern day? Right, so modern day heroes. All right, so modern day, again, how do General Maxilom's ideals live on in today's modern day heroes? Okay, so to all our contestants, guys, ready na mo? Are you guys ready? You know what? Let's give them a big round of applause to energize them, to inspire them. Okay. And of course, make sure that your friends, your classmates, and your teachers, parents as well, share the video link to them. Okay. Also, I would like to take this opportunity to plug in the different events here in Palmgrass. So on November 30, we have Hermanos, Freemasonry in the 1896 Philippine Revolution. On December 7, we have Hulma and Friends Poetry Reading and Spoken Poetry Contest. And of course, in the spirit of Christmas, on December 14, we have Bilen Nga Kabilin. On December 21, we have Cults on the Holy Family with USC History Professor Laila Labajo and Poetry Reading with Willa. And on December 29, kani importante na event, it's a very important event, Pasko sa Kagawasan, with a discussion with historian and Silliman University Vice President for Academic Affairs, Dr. Earl Jude Cleope. So those are the remaining events for November to December. All right, I hope you guys are excited. Mark your calendars. Of course, feel free to follow our page as well. Okay, so at this point, let us get to know our contestants from the different schools. We have 3 school divisions and 13 participating schools. Okay, once again, this is the Cebu Island-wide hybrid extemporaneous speech contest, and these are our contestants. Okay, contestant number 1. Okay, we'll proceed to contestant number 2. He is RLP Abanto, a grade 12 student from Don Andres Soriano National High School. Contestant number 3, a grade 6 pupil from Sangi Elementary School. We have Azaya Guthrie Deligero. Up next, from Luray Dos National High School, a grade 11 student, we have Bricias Avila. We have contestant number 5, a grade 11 student from St. Teresa's College, Hannah May Arrogancia. Up next, we have a grade 11 student from Don Vicente Rama Memorial National High School, contestant number 6, Von Kashmir Anito. Up next, contestant number 7, a grade 12 student from Toledo City Science High School, we have Carl Therese Tan. Contestant number 8, a grade 12 student from Tejero National High School, we have Claire Barauman. Up next, from Don Bosco Technical College, a grade 12 student, Alfonso Gian Monton. Up next, from Luray Dos National High School, contestant number 10, Jasmine Claire Hoxon. Contestant number 11, a grade 12 student from Baton National High School, we have Angel Kate Dovibar. Up next, a grade 12 student from Argao National High School, contestant number 12, Carl Zachary Lesol. Contestant number 13, a grade 11 student from Toledo City Science High School, Precious Zoe Bulyastan. Up next, from Abeliana National High School, a grade 10 student, contestant number 14, Mark Gabriel Ong. A grade 6 pupil from Mapolo Elementary School, we have Gabriel Jane Soteliaza. Up next, contestant number 16, from Talamban Elementary School, a grade 6 pupil, Reza Jasmine Padilla. Let us now proceed to contestant number 17, a grade 6 pupil from Tejero Elementary School, Sian Yap. Contestant number 18, a grade 12 student from Cebu City National Science High School, 𝗏𝗏𝗏. And to complete our lineup of contestants, we have contestant number 19, Frederick Wilhelm Kessner V, a grade 11 student from Cebu City National Science High School. Let us give all our students and pupils, our participants, a big round of applause. Okay, so guys, while our contestants are doing their final preparations, mentally preparing themselves, you guys ready? Ready na ha? Okay, sige. So, yeah, we will now proceed to a very important and very important na part of our event right now, and that is discussing the life of our birthday celebrant, none other than General Arcadio Maxilom. You hear of his name all the time, okay, because his name is a namesake of a street here in Cebu. But do we really know him? What is his life? What is his contribution? What led to his heroism? And with that, we proceed to our talk. And to do that talk, we have none other from Palm Grass, the Cebu Heritage Hotel. Let us give a big round of applause to Miss Agripina Givelondo, Miss A.
Malipayong pagsaulog sa usa ka gatos ug kan-uman ug duha ka tuig nga kasumaran sa adlaw natawhan sa atong bayani sa Sugbo nga si General Arcadio Maxilom. A happy 162nd birthday of our hero, General Arcadio Maxilom. So, nagang salamat for being with us here today. We are so happy that this today is even if it's already 3 days after the birthday of General Maxilom, but this is a well-attended event, and we are so happy that so many young people are with us this afternoon to speak about, to express their love for our hero, to express their love for our country, and to prove once again that the youth is the hope of our motherland. So our hearts are so it's so heartwarming. We are so touched that the youth are here. The youth is here, and we have seen the 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 Street Children's Choir singing their love for our country also, and their prayer for our country, for our community. So this is what we do here. Is we offer everything for the children and for the future of the youth. So our heroes, General Arcadio Maxilom, fought and lived and fought for a better Cebu and a better Philippines. So we are here to honor him, and we are here to remember what he did. And we give tribute to him by continuing his ideals, remembering his legacy, and living a life that he would want us to live, a life that is spent for the betterment of others and not just for the self. So that is what we dream of. That is why we have activities with the youth, for the youth. We involve the youth in all our activities to recall, to revisit our past, because we want the youth to remember and to give honor of what our heroes did. to be proud of them and to be proud of our identity as Cebuanos, as Filipinos, so that the youth, when they grow up and become leaders of this land, they will become better leaders and they will continue to fight for what our heroes fought for in the past. Because, of course, we already know that what our heroes fought for is not yet, they dreamed of a better society, they dreamed of a better community, they dreamed of a country that is that has people that has a people with a prosperous life, not just for a few but for everyone. So we see we have songs about that at Palmgrass about what would Leon Kilat say if he saw the Batang Colon. We have a song, Batang Colon, about the children and the families living on the streets, and this is not yet the community, the Cebu, the Philippines that our heroes fought for and dreamed of. So that's why we continue to remember our heroes, we continue to express our love for them, and the best way to express our love is to live and to lead to lead a community with their ideals and their legacy. So according to one historian or one heritage advocate, we wouldn't be able to love our country, we wouldn't be able to love our people if we don't know them, if we don't know our country, if we don't know our heroes, what they did. So that's why we do this every year. We have at Palmgrass, the Cebu Heritage Hotel, the 6th floor is named in honor of General Arcadio Maxilom, ika-unom nga andana, General Arcadio Maxilom, and at the headboard you would see the bio sketch of the hero, General Arcadio Maxilom, as also discussed by Dr. Michael Colonnade in his book, Arenas of Conspiracy and Rebellion in the late 19th century Philippines. So we actually studied this, and all the heroes mentioned here, the leaders of the revolution in the 1898 Cebu Revolution against Spain. And there are bio sketches of the heroes here. So we have the wallpaper at the floors of Palmgrass, at the rooms for heroes at Palmgrass, the Cebu Heritage Hotel, talk about it. So when Dr. Mike was here, he was looking at the whole hotel, and he was saying, this hotel is a monument. And yes, so I said, we got the description of the heroes. There's a wallpaper with the old map of Cebu or the Philippines, and there's a bio sketch of the hero to whom that floor is named after. And I said, we got the bio sketch from your book, but we shortened it. And he said, yes, because I write lentily. So, and we put also a Cebuano, Bisaya version of his description of the hero. So, so we named our dish, our bestseller dish, the 𝗶𝗶𝗵𝗶. Our 𝗶𝗶𝗵𝗶 is also named after General Arcadio Maxilom because, you know, General Arcadio Maxilom led the revolution, the 1898 Cebu Revolution against Spain, to victory. And their fight was just like the 𝗶𝗶𝗵𝗶. Like, it's not a shortcut process. When you cook the 𝗶𝗶𝗵𝗶 to make it a very yummy, delicious dish, you have to simmer it. It has the balance of taste of salt, sweet, and sour. You have vinegar, you have different spices. And then you get a very, it's not a shortcut process to cook the 𝗶𝗶𝗵𝗶, and then you get a very yummy, delicious dish after, just like how delicious it is probably for the Cebuanos to have already won the 1898 Cebu Revolution against Spain. So karon sa daghan akong introduction, so we also thank, wala pa man ma-introduce ato judges, they would be introduced later. So we thank the students from all over Cebu for coming here, joining us and expressing, using your talent, your intelligence, and your love for country as you give your speeches later on topics that revolve around the theme, how do we see the ideals of General Maxilom right now in the modern day heroes? So we have we thank our esteemed judges. Pwede na ito ma-show, bisag introduce na sila later actually. So we thank our heritage history advocates and very of course distinguished panel of judges. We are very also articulate and mga toastmasters di sila. And they have they're very credible. So we have one of our judges, our idol actually in broadcasting. So we were students in Mascom and in our college years, and we look up to her in her English broadcast at GMA News. So we have architect 𝗏𝗏𝗶𝗵, so also a commissioner of the Cebu City Cultural and Historical Affairs Commission, and also a heritage architect, former dean of the architecture School of Architecture at the University of San Carlos. We also have our heritage advocate, our resource person on 𝗏𝗏𝗶𝗏. Makita, pwede na siya balik lang camera, pero makita niyo na sa front ba? I saw his so many posters, and so many posters, usa ganito, ang upaw, musalig, sulayi ang upaw. So, and then I was so surprised that actually he did not actually run for office. I thought he would run for office, pero sulayan lang gihapon nato ni siya karon. He will have his time to speak. Also, our judges will have their extemporaneous speech after the speeches of the contestants. So he also wrote the book on 𝗏𝗏𝗶 City, and he is a veteran broadcaster because he was an anchor in a radio show, di ba? And then he also is a newspaper columnist and a magazine editor. So we have 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. He is a staunch advocate of 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 being a national hero and not to remove the monument. He's very powerful, his writing skills, because of his words, he was able to retain the monument of 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 at the Liberty Shrine. So, grabe ni siya og words, ha, powerful words. Kuyaw na siya. So, we also have our very multi-talented judge here. She was the teacher of my classmates. I was not under her for speech. And so at University of the Philippines, Cebu, she was also a philosophy teacher. So, and then she's a veteran, a theater veteran, in trying media or broadcaster in radio and TV and film, and she's a talent in everything. She is our narrator in our video on the 𝗖𝗲𝗄𝗅 story. So we have with us, and also very committed in her advocacies for the youth and theater, and also for good governance. So we have Miss Marlinda 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. So she was also our resource person when we discussed the Chinese mestizo in Cebu, and she told us so many compelling and very intriguing taboo stories about the how is it to be in love when you're a Chinese mestiza. And then we have the last but not the least, the oldest among the most veteran among everyone. Also, Miss Marlinda is with the Toastmasters. We also have someone, a former director of the Toastmaster district, former governor of the Toastmasters in a district here in Cebu City, and we have he's a graduate of Mascom in Silliman University. He was with the Freeman, an editor of the Freeman, and he is now a managing editor, news manager at regional news at GMA 7. So we have 𝗄𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. So, gikuyawan na mo? So, dili mo makuyawan. So, when you win this contest, you are in good hands with our distinguished panel of judges. Daghang salamat to everyone, to our judges for really joining us and to listen to the voice of the youth. We have so much hope in our youth. We hope. We hope, the hope of the motherland. So now we would like to introduce our resource person this afternoon. So our resource person this afternoon has been our resource person, our panelist and speaker in so many of our heritage and history events here at Pamgrass. Although he is not here in person today, we recorded his answers to our questions. So actually, there was a national meeting that came up. So we recorded his discussion today. So our resource person this afternoon is an archaeologist by profession. He is the head of the National Committee on Museums, National Commission for Culture and the Arts. He is the vice head of the 𝗏𝗍𝐶A Subcommission on Cultural Heritage, and he serves as the Cebu Provincial Consultant on Museums and Heritage Affairs. And until his early retirement this year, he was a professor in Osaka University in Japan, as well as the University of San Carlos in Cebu. And he is a former director of the University of San Carlos Museum. And he has written or co-authored a number of heritage books, including the Philippine postage stamps, and as well as the National Book Award finalist, The War in Cebu, 𝗏𝗏𝗵𝗏, the Numismatic Heritage of the Philippines. So please help me welcome Dr. 𝗏𝗶𝘁𝗵𝗏.
Good afternoon, everyone. Magandang hapon sa lahat at maraming salamat. Thank you very much to 𝗏𝗏𝗏 for inviting me here. I'd like to do a shout out to the people of Taguig who are watching. This is recorded because I will be in Taguig when this will be shown on Saturday I'll be in Taguig for a series of meetings with the National Commission for Culture and the Arts, Subcommission on Cultural Heritage. So it's a pleasure to be here, and I hope to be able to share whatever I have known on the great general, about the great General Arcadio Maxilom of Tuburan.
Daghang salamat to Dr. 𝗏𝗏𝗏. Pwede padako na to siya later, ha? Sige. So Dr. 𝗏𝗏𝗏 is actually our go-to person whenever we have questions about history that we have to clarify. But he is not here. But if you have questions and sharing, you can give your questions. Maybe our panelists here, our judges here would know, and maybe I also would know. So actually, 𝗏𝗏𝗏 Cebu Heritage Hotel has published books on the Cebu Revolution, and I usually edit the books. So we have this book, A Short History. This is out of print, but we will hope to have more copies of this by the end of the month or the first week of December. So A Short History of Cebu from 1500 to 1890s and the Anti-Spanish Revolution in Cebu. We also have the book, Kilat, The Untold Story of the 1898 Cebu Revolution. So General Maxilom is discussed here and also here. So we know about what General Maxilom did. So how he fought against the Spanish colonial rule and how they won the revolution. So as you already know, we would be celebrating this December the Pasko sa Kagawasan, because it was on December 24 that the Cebu Revolution won against the Spaniards. And then so on December 29 was the Thanksgiving Mass, and you would see at the Galleria Independencia outside this hall a painting depicting the 1898 Thanksgiving Mass on December 29 for the victory of the Cebu Revolution. And this December 29, we usually have a discussion and a celebration, and we would be hearing from Dr. 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, who studied about what the Visayans did to boot out the Spaniards from the Visayas. Because we also knew from his discussion last year that actually the Visayas was not included in the Treaty of Paris. The Spaniards just sold Luzon. They wanted to keep the Visayas and Mindanao as their colony. But then the Visayans, in different parts of the Visayas, Cebu, Iloilo, Panay, Bacolod, they were already launching revolutions and revolutions against Spain. So they had to go. They could not keep the colony because they only wanted to keep Luzon. They only wanted to sell Luzon and keep the Visayas. But then Dr. 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 has also more interesting things to say. He mentioned about the tensions between Aguinaldo and the Visayans. And then so, because the leaders of the revolution in the Visayas, especially in Negros and Panay Islands, they were schooled in Europe, and they had a different type of government in their mind as their vision for governance here. So we would find out more about that. But on November 30, we would also find out about Andres Bonifacio. He's 1 year younger, actually, of General Arcadio Maxilom. It would be his 161st birthday. On November 30, General Maxilom is celebrating his 100th 62nd birthday. He was 36 years old when he joined the revolution. Andres Bonifacio was 35 during that time in 1898, but he was already killed, right? So we would be having, because Andres Bonifacio was a member of the Masons, so we would be having a discussion this November 30 about the Masons' role in the revolution. And Aguinaldo was also a Mason. Did Aguinaldo ask for the murder? Did he have a hand in the murder of Andres Bonifacio? So those would be interesting things this November. So now we would now like to ask this. We would now like to ask Dr. Jobers regarding this, and then regarding the life of General Arcadio Maxilom. So the first question for Dr. Jobers is this. So why is General Maxilom an important figure in local and national history?
Well, let's start with the beginning. People tend to mispronounce the name of General Maxilom. It's actually Maxilom, because the Mexican, Spanish X is also congruent to the English H. Maxilom and Maxilom would be their family name, so they're all related, Maxilom or Maxilom. On the question of why he is important, he's important not only to Cebu history, but also to national history, because he's one of the few people who took on who fought for the revolution, even if they knew that they could die as a result. No? It takes courage to do that. And the fact that he was just a few months in San Nicolas when the Katipunan was started there in San Nicolas in the southern portion of the city, and he was able to join the revolutionary leaders that were gathering already in San Nicolas, coming from a small town called Tuburan, which today is still quite far away. It's still about 2 hours if you go through the Trans-Central Highway. That's an amazing feat for someone who was Gobernadorcillo and then Kapitan Municipal of Tuburan, and to be able to join the revolution. He was trained by friars. He learned grammar through a friar. So he was steeped in Spanish loyalty. He would have been loyal to the Spaniards. But the fact that he was able to share that image out of him and join and fight for something that he would not know would be victorious. There was no guarantee that the revolution would win. So by doing that, he became not only a local hero, but also a national hero. Because you must remember, there were very few people who were officers of the revolution who were recognized by Aguinaldo in the entire history of the revolution, in the Catagalugan, in Samar, in Leyte, in Cebu. So you can imagine that Maxilom was not just a Cebuano, he was also a hero of the Philippine, therefore national revolution.
So daghang salamat to Dr. Jobber. So he mentioned that he is not just a hero of Cebu, but a hero of the Philippines. So now we would like to share with you this video that we made to trace the life of General Maxilom. So we have a clip from the General Arcadio Maxilom, the last man standing, and you would hear about the childhood of General Maxilom here in this clip. Very short.
Si 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 was a natural leader. Kanang magdula ang mga bata, silang mga bata, mo-organize dayon na siya.
Spanish Guardia Civil occupied Tuburan. He observed tyrannous abuses from the Guardia Civil to the extent of molesting women.
𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, he was a very brave general. Pero pag abot na gani sa family life, pag abot na sa asawa, mahadlok na siya. He was considered under the saya.
actually, actually we wanted to learn about the personal life of General Arcadio Maxilom. So wala nakalimot ko nga na-appeal dito. So General Arcadio Maxilom was the general, but he had a commander-in-chief. So that was 𝗖𝗲𝗏𝗵𝗶. So I actually told Dr. Jobbers, the revolution wouldn't have happened if 𝗖𝗲𝗏 did not allow it. Like if he didn't allow General Maxilom to join the revolution, so it would be following like the tradition of the Babaylanes in pre-colonial times, who would command the dato to fight. So it is actually, they would say, I remember Ahmed, when our discussion last about the Battle of Mactan, the other last April, with Dr. 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, he was asked, what was the role of the women in the Battle of Mactan? And Dr. Earl was saying, as always, the women inspired the men. And then I said, yes, the women inspired the men, but then the women also commanded the men. Why? Because at that time, they could not go to war without the babaylan ritual, asking the gods, the deities, if they are allowed to go to war, if they should go to war. So of course, the babaylanes got the message from the deities that they should go to war. So it was the babaylan who told Lapu-Lapu, Dato Lapu-Lapu, to go to war. So that's the role of the women. And also, of course, the poisons were made by the women, the babaylanes also. So that's the role. We wanted to insert the role of the women in the revolution because it's his story. It's his story. Usually, right now, we don't know what was the role of the women. Only in the 300 leaders of the revolution, only you would see at our wall of heroes there outside, there were 300 leaders in the 1898 Cebu Revolution. Only 3, or only a few, like sa book ni Michael Colonin, only 3 were women. And he told Mike, Dr. Mike, why only 3? He couldn't answer. So we look for other women to put in the list of the heroes. So next we will have this question for Dr. Jobbers. So please tell us about the heroic characteristics of General Maxilom. And this would aid actually our students as they prepare for their speeches this afternoon. So actually our students do not yet know the questions. So they would be given the specific questions 6 minutes before their performance or their actual speech. So i-adjust din nato, no? Same ran ni siya ang adjustment sa preparation kay wala ang kuan, ang number 1, isaka lang to siya. Isaka lang. Number 2 would be the number. Yes, they won't change the numbers.
Skip lang.
Yes. So we have, actually we already estimated it, we already rehearsed it that before the first performance, the one given the question would actually prepare for 6 minutes before his or her speech. So we have Dr. Jobbers for the important characteristics of General Maxilom.
Well, una sa lahat, first is you have someone who was trained by friars sa grammar. He was taught by Spanish friars. He was a political officer of Tuburan. He was a gobernadorcillo and the first Capitan Municipal when the municipal code was introduced from Spain to the Philippine colony. So you would have imagined he would have enriched himself as an officer of the Spanish authorities. No, but he went beyond that. He sacrificed this. He sacrificed himself in order to join the revolution. That is one, self-sacrifice. No? He shirked away from self-interest. He could have stayed on as a, sip-sip to the Spanish authorities. He would have stayed on as Capitan Municipal. So he removed himself from that kind of image and joined the revolution. The third is, when you join a revolution, you could get killed. So that's a kind of self-sacrifice. The highest form of sacrifice is to die for the motherland. And you don't even have a Philippines as a republic yet at that time. There is no assurance that you will win. So that kind of self-sacrifice, denial of self-interest, is what makes people heroes that should be emulated, especially in this modern world where all of us think of our own selves, our own personal problems, and forget about the nation or the country and where it is going through. It is time to look at the kinds of characteristics heroes like Maxilom had that eventually gave us our independence.
So, daghang salamat to Dr. Jobber. So, actually, we were talking about it during our recording, and he was telling me about sad things in his life, and he said that you should remember General Maxilom. I said, yes, that's what I remembered. And I would say, he said that if he experienced sadness or things like that, he would. You think about the people who are suffering more than you, and then you think about the suffering, what the sacrifices our heroes did. I said, yes, that's my inspiration whenever I get sad. so that's the inspiration also for us, for everyone. So we know during the pandemic, the young people, there are so many who get depressed, but then we look at what our heroes did. They were prepared. They were ready to die. They were ready for hardships, to free our motherland from colonization, so that our people will have a better life. So now we would like to know, because of course General Maxilom's family was landed. They had a competitor in their. We knew this from Dr. Mike Colonin, so we have this short background, of also from Dr. Michael Colonin and other historians about the life also of General Maxilom.
It starts with an increasingly important town on the northwest coast of Cebu. Many people are competing for the land in that area, and the most prominent landowners in Tuburan were the Maxilom family and the 𝗲𝗶𝗶 family. These two families are now connected, and that Fausto 𝗲𝗶𝗶, the contrabida of Arcadio Maxilom, they're actually stepbrothers. What brought Arcadio to Cebu City and to San Nicolas? And that was, of course, after the 𝗲𝗶𝗶 family began to take over the politics of Tuburan.
𝗲𝗶𝗶 Fausto accused him, slandered him of being head of one of the terrorists of the Katipunan in Manila. He decided to leave his family and move to San Nicolas.
Maxilom's educational level was much less. We realized that he worked closely with the parish priest of Tuburan, a man named Father Mauricio Esmero. Esmero was very influential in teaching Spanish to Arcadio Maxilom. So he was educated locally. He is a leader from the town of Tuburan who comes to the city of Cebu towards the end of the 19th century. And in San Nicolas is where he met many of the people who were later involved in ang Kagubot sa Sugbo in April of 1898. He lived there. He met and worked with Luis Flores, Candido Padilla, all of the major leaders of the ang Kagubot in April of 1898, in that spot where he became and emerged as a leader.
So actually, you have seen Dr. Jobber's Arcadio Maxilom at 159. It's now Maxilom at 162. Every year we celebrate General Arcadio Maxilom's birthday. So we have known actually in Leon Kilat book, it's not yet when it is here in this book that we knew that General Maxilom recruited the most affluent person in Tuburan when he came back after the meeting at the Isidro Gisbilondo's house on April 2. He went back to Tuburan because he was appointed to lead the revolution in Tuburan. And then the first thing he did was to recruit Fausto 𝗲𝗶𝗶, and it is in this book that Fausto actually also donated for the revolution. But then we also know, later we would also know that Fausto was his stepbrother, but the 𝗲𝗶𝗶 and Maxilom or Maxilom family were competitors. But Arcadio Maxilom's mother got married when Arcadio Maxilom's father died, and Fausto became his stepbrother. And Fausto was also the reason why he came to Cebu City and lived in San Nicolas. But when he came back, he recruited Fausto. We would know something else later. So now we have this question. Actually, we only have 4 questions for Dr. Jobert. Dali, Rani. So, what is the important legacy of General Maxilom?
Well, General Maxilom is a hero to be emulated simply because you have in this person someone who forgets self in order to sacrifice for an ideal. It's difficult nowadays to forget your self-interest, to think of an ideal, to think of a better Philippines, for example. No? Sa Facebook, there's a common thread that says, Pilipinas, kay hirap mong mahalin. It's a very painful Facebook reality, no, or social media reality, that so many people find it hard to love the Philippines. How did we reach this point in the nation's history that we find it so difficult to forget ourselves and help build a better Philippines? We tend to compare the Philippines with Japan, with Singapore, and the kind of discipline and self-sacrifice people have there. How did we end up like this? I think it's because we forgot about the ideals of the heroes who fought for our independence. And it's so easy to talk about that, no? When in the confines of your room, of your bedroom, of your house, and you're enjoying things in life. Maybe the legacy of Maxilom and all the other heroes is, for once, I think, even if we just think, not even doing it, but just think of how we can contribute to the betterment of this nation. Start by thinking, and then perhaps by doing. This is the kind of legacy that Maxilom had. He did not just think that, oh, I could get, he must have thought, you know, the kind of self-sacrifice I make to get out of the loyalty, my loyalty to Spain, and to fight for an ideal that is never even guaranteed. And so in today's lives that we live as Filipinos, we have ideals of how the Philippines should be. Are we willing to let go of our self-interest and make that sacrifice to build a better Philippines? Maxilom did it. It is time for us to also do it today. Thank you.
So, dahil salamat to Dr. Jobber. So, we also have this video clip about the fight of Maxilom. So, the attack in Tuburan. Because actually, when they went back to, when Maxilom went back to Tuburan after the Battle of 𝗃𝗃𝗃, he still joined the Battle of 𝗃𝗃𝗃. He went back to Tuburan, but then it was just a few days. So, it was April 7 that the Spanish reinforcements, they won the 𝗃𝗃𝗃. I mean, only Fort San Pedro was left for the Spaniards. The whole of Cebu City was already controlled by the Cebu revolutionaries. Only the Fort San Pedro was with the Spaniards. And then, but the reinforcements came on April 7, and on April 8, the Cebu revolutionaries, the Cebu City, those who were in Cebu City already went to the hinterlands because dili na makaya sa ilang mga anting-anting. So they had the Visidora. They had this. They believed this was like a bulletproof vest. So our guards also wear this, and so they had other. And we also have actually anting-anting sold at our basahan, our sinugatan gift from Cebu, and then so the anting-anting could no longer withstand the attack, the counter-attack of the Spaniards. So in Tuburan also, all those at the coastal areas were being bombarded by the Spanish gunboats when they had the reinforcements on April 8, starting April 8. So they had to go. So we have this clip.
Entered the town and warned the civil guards, surrendered without shedding blood. However, on April 15, the steamers 𝗶𝗏𝗁 and 𝗏𝗏𝗃 arrived, and the Battle of Tuburan began. This lasted for 8 hours, from 5:30 in the morning until 1 a.m. And his brothers, cousin, and nephews died. This combat left the town deserted, and because of the anger of the cazadores, they burned the entire town, but they saved the church, the convent, and the camarin of Pausto Tabotabo.
General Arcadio Maxilom and other Tuburanons encamped at the mountain of Anihaw after the Battle of Tuburan against Spanish forces in mid-April 1898. The mountain, which is now known as Bateria, also became one of Maxilom's camps in the war against the Americans.
Ako lang gipakita diri ang usa ka murag scene sa gubat, no, kay si Maxilom manggod daghan man ni siya kaning battles, no, kay gikan sa katong ilang revolution kontra sa mga Spaniards, no, and then sa kuan pod ang ilasang kaning gubat kontra sa mga Amerikano. Makita diri nga si General Maxilom murag ni emerge siya, no, murag siya ni saka gikan sa trenches, murag medyo maalam sad sila gamay sa kaning art of war, no. It's a sign of bravery on his part, no, nga ang iyang leadership nga dili siya mahadlok against the bullet.
So, daghang salamat for that clip. So, that's actually a do-it-yourself video by 𝗵𝗃, made by the multimedia team of 𝗵𝗃. So, we would see the sculpture of General Arcadio Maxilom there downstairs. So, we have not yet put it at the 6th floor because only those who would go to the 6th floor would see it. So, that's why we have it at the lobby right now. And then at the other side also is the sculpture of General Leon Kilat. So, that's what happened. Like Pausto Tabotabo camarin was saved. So there was actually a controversy that even if Pausto Tabotabo donated to the revolution, but then there were talks about that. So but there were also Tabo-Tabo who also joined the revolution against Spain. So I think you would still see their family names in our wall of heroes. So that's what General Arcadio Maxilom did. He continued to fight, and then he was said to be the last man standing because during the American time, the rest already, like when the Americans came, those who were at the council, some already surrendered to the Americans, but General Maxilom did not. And then but there was also there was already there were already accounts that he surrendered, but we would know about that from his descendants. They have a version of it. So now we have the last question for Dr. Jovers that we ask him: why and how should General Maxilom be remembered?
Well, in the Philippine context, I think in Cebu City, in Tuburan, they have a monument to Maxilom, and they have a General Maxilom Day. So I think the town itself has honored General Maxilom. It's the city where he fled, where the revolution started, that I think needs to do more. No, there's campaign to save the 𝗏𝗏 site and maybe perhaps put up a monument there. We also need to write, to publish more, to do more videos, to do more talks like this, to remind us of who these heroes were. They're beginning to be forgotten. They're already 4 generations away. Lolo sa lolo na niya. Amahan sa inyong mga lolo na niya generation, or lolo sa inyong lolo ang nagrevolution. And they're beginning to be forgotten. So it's sad. So there are many ways of remembering in classrooms, in schools, and in physical things like monuments and plazas. No, Tuburan has shown the way. Their beloved son is honored there. But I think the nation should have, and Cebu City should have a monument to these heroes, a pantheon, and we should publish more stories about them and videos about what they did and how they are relevant to the present.
So daghang salamat to Dr. Jobber. So we have this clip also, did General Maxilom surrender? From his descendant, katong si Colonel Talaogon.
Most encounters he has, always victorious. Yet he's not seen in the area of operation. There were talks na may anting-anting siya. Kanang anting-anting na hindi makita.
Luis Flores, Presidente of the Republican, Philippine Republican representatives in Cebu, with the other generals around him, elects Arcadio Maxilom as governor of Cebu to replace Spanish General Montero. The Spanish government, led by Montero, surrendered Cebu and its official properties to the revolution. He hears of the arrival of the American gunboat Petrel. The flag of the Americans were already raised at Fort San Pedro.
Some of the leaders of Cebu City at the time signed the peace document. They surrendered the city to the Americans. But the rest of the forces and many of the people the civilians in it, they didn't surrender. They moved to San Nicolas. Then when the Americans spread out into San Nicolas, they moved to El Pardo. Maxilom has not himself surrendered, but many people in Cebu City had surrendered. Later, in 1900, in January of 1900, against the Americans who were attacking, he surrenders, but then later, after he realized that the Americans were really taking control, and he begins to decide that he needed to resurrect the revolution against the Americans.
Actually, he did not surrender. There was no declaration of surrender. The statement he said, according to Lulu, that I will not surrender my love to my country.
A round of applause for that those video clips. So Dr. Michael Cullinane said he surrendered, but then he realized there was actually Dr. Michael Cullinane was describing how he surrendered, like his brothers were jumped from the ship actually when they were pursued by the Americans, and then. But then he continued. Even if he surrendered for a while, he realized that he should continue, and he resurrected his fight. So for his descendants, Colonel Talaogon is the great grandson of General Maxilom from his first wife, and they would say, "We don't see the paper that he surrendered. He did not surrender." General Arcadio Maxilom was telling his son, the grandfather of Colonel Talaogon, I will not surrender my love for my country. So for them, they did not. General Maxilom did not surrender. So those are all our discussion with Dr. Jobbers. So. Do you have questions, or do you want to share something? Only two from the on-site audience. Kung naa, if someone would like to say something. So we also would like. So I will give you the closing words from Dr. Jobbers in a while. So we have Ruel watching from SDO Tapat, Ferdi Partisyo, the supervisor of Taguig City and Pateros, Araling Panlipunan, saying, do we have a monument of at least in Cebu to honor the valor of General Arcadio Maxilom? So General Maxilom has a monument in there in the kanang, no, in the camp, there, kanang tapit sa Osmeña Boulevard. Camp, saan nga camp? Sa Camp Seri Osmeña, and he also has a monument there in Tuburan. And we also have his sculpture, the wood sculpture there at the ground floor of Pamgrass de Cebu Heritage Hotel. So TG Tulit, the flag tour guide, is watching. And we have also a teacher from Bagong Tanyag Integrated School, Taguig City and Pateros, and Maria Isa, also from Taguig City and Pateros. So, okay na din. Do you want a trivia question with a prize of 𝗏𝗏𝗵𝗶 Maxilom? Only one question for the online and on-site audience. Only one question. Kaya actually, the teachers from Taguig City and Pateros want always have a trivia quiz. We did not prepare, but we will have an online quiz, and everyone would answer through the comment section, and you will have one order of the very yummy 𝗏𝗵𝗶 Maxilom as a prize if you answer this question. The first one to give the correct answer would win the 𝗏𝗶𝗵𝗶 Maxilom. And the question is this. Sayon ra kayo. It's very easy. So you type, are you at the Pamgrass de Cebu Heritage Hotel Facebook Live event? So you go to the Pamgrass de Cebu Heritage Hotel Facebook Live event, and the first one to answer the question correctly would win the 𝗏𝗏𝗵𝗶 Maxilom. Then we will announce it later who is the winner. So we have Go Ariel from Kian, TG Tulits. What is the actual height and weight? Ang vital statistics na ni General Maxilom. We still have to look for the mga archaeologists and also to those the other historians who he is buried in I think he was buried in the 1900s. Actually, there was a description of how long President Quezon came here, especially during his burial. There was a very long line for how many kilometers? When he was during his funeral. And so we have this question, very easy. We have very easy question. Give the complete birth date of General Arcadio Maxilom. So put it at the comment section of this Facebook Live event, and the first one to answer would win the very yummy, the bestseller 𝗏𝗏𝗵𝗶 Maxilom at Pamgrass de Cebu Heritage Hotel. So, no walay rice. You go to the comment section and you put the correct answer. And please tell us from where you are in the Philippines if you are answering the question so that we would know. So we can't deliver it if you are in other places. So when you come to Cebu, you would claim your prize. So the first one to answer the question correctly is 𝗏𝗏𝗵𝗶 𝗏𝗏𝗀. It's November 13, 1862. So congratulations to 𝗏𝗏𝗵𝗶 𝗏𝗏𝗀. So wala na mo comment din ha, kaya we are so excited for the contest. So we would like you to know that we also have Cebu Hero stickers here at Pamgrass de Cebu Heritage Hotel. The illustrator of our 𝗏𝗏𝗀𝗏 Kilat ug 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗵, she was 16 years old when she illustrated the book 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗏 Kilat ug 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗵. She also made the Cebu Hero stickers. We have stickers of Leon Kilat, Arcadio Maxilom, Flores. We have also a Sigbin here, and we have also Lapu-Lapu sticker, and also Juliana Rebillas, the wife of Candido Padilla, an active planner of the revolution. So we have Tres Aliños and other heroes at our sinugatan. 30 pesos per sticker ni siya. So we have this also here at Pamgrass de Cebu Heritage Hotel. So now we would like, wala na may musulti, so we have the closing words from Dr. Jobers in our conversations this afternoon.
Well, happy birthday to General Maxilom. I hope he is not depressed when he sees what the Philippines has become. He'll probably ask, was it worth struggling to make a better Philippines? That answer will be up to us. Did we fail the heroes who fought for our independence? You ask yourselves that question. This is the lasting statement I would like to ask, to part with everyone. Ask yourselves, in the lives that you live today, have you, would General Maxilom be happy at where you are right now because of of the struggles they did to put you where you are right now? Be honest and ask yourselves that question. And if the answer is no, then do better. Help this nation be better. Thank you.
So, daghang salamat. A round of applause for Dr. 𝗂𝗶𝘁𝗵𝗔, archaeologist and historian and author of so many books on Cebu heritage and history. So, actually, we will have the daghang salamat to everyone for joining us in our conversations. And now we go to the highlight of our event today in celebration of the 𝗂𝗲𝗏 𝗏𝗏𝗏 ug duha ka tuig nga kasumaran sa adlaw nga tawhan ni General Arcadio Maxilom. So we also would like to recognize our Cebu City Marching Band for really coming here and joining us in our celebration. So daghang salamat to everyone. So we turn you over again to our facilitator of our event, Josh.
Test. All right. So hello. Let's give a big round of applause once again to Miss A and Doc Jobers. Okay, I know Doc Jobers may be watching at us. Doc, amping dia, wherever you are right now. Okay, so before we move on, I would just like to add also something. I was actually taking notes from earlier. So just to recap lang a few things like, okay, so in terms of overall na attitude, General Maxilom is a selfless and very brave hero, and to quote, he answers to his commander-in-chief, iyang wife. Okay, so and he is from Tuburan. So this is actually new to me. So mauna siya. And then because let's face it, a lot of our streets here in Cebu are named after heroes, after generals, and we sometimes take it for granted. And then he has worked with Candido Padilla, Padilla, okay, and of course Isidro Givilondo, the ancestor of Miss A. And just like Leon Kilat, he also wore the vestidora and anting. Okay, so this is also new to me about the whole competition with the 𝗏𝗏𝗏 family. Okay, and I like that his family name Maxilom is related to, is it Mahilom? Okay, because of the pronunciation of the X and the H. So those are actually a lot of interesting info, and of course we have to thank Palmgrass for really advocating for that. So again, thank you, Miss A. Thank you, Sir Jobers, for that wonderful info. We hope to learn more about our heroes soon. But we need to move on to the highlight of our event in honor of the birthday of General Maxilom, and that is the Cebu Island-wide Hybrid Extemporaneous Speech Contest. Okay, but before that, I have the honor of introducing to you our distinguished panel of judges. And as mentioned by Miss A, dili ni basta-basta to ang mga panel of judges. Our first judge, the Commissioner of the Cebu City Cultural and Historical Affairs Commission, and a veteran TV news anchor. Let us welcome architect Melva Rodriguez Hava. Up next, the author of the Lapu-Lapu City History Book and a former radio anchor, magazine editor, and newspaper columnist. Let us welcome Sir Ahmed Quezon. Our third judge is a former philosophy and English lecturer of the University of the Philippines, Cebu, and a distinguished actress in theater and film. Let us welcome Ma'am Merlinda Ang Betiktan. And to complete our lineup of distinguished judges, we have the news manager of GMA Regional TV, and a university lecturer in journalism. Let us welcome Sir 𝗄𝗶𝘁𝗵𝗶. Once again, let us give our judges a big round of applause. At this point, while our contestants are doing their final preparation, allow me to read the mechanics of our contest. The contest is open to all grade 6 to 12 students in the public and private schools in Cebu. Contestants will deliver their speech live, either on-site or online. For our online contestants, they are required to join a technical test a few days before the contest proper. A specific question revolving on the theme will be given to the contestant 6 minutes before his or her speech during the contest proper. The speech delivery shall be between 2 to 3 minutes and must be in English. Time limit will be strictly observed. Points will be deducted for exceeding the delivery time. Contestants are required to wear either their school uniform or a modern Filipiniana attire. Speeches will be judged based on the relevance to the topic, creativity, delivery, and impact. Videos of the speech entries will be published on the Palmgrass, the Cebu Heritage Hotel Facebook page. The entry with the most reactions will also win the Netizens' Choice Award. Online voting will be open until November 23, 2024. Okay, so that is the mechanics for our contest proper. So to our online friends, I know many of you here, so support the candidates, and also I know there are also, I hope the schools that the schools of our students are also watching right now, including their friends, classmates, ilang mga teachers and families. So you can still share them to your respective personal Facebook pages. Okay, and without further ado, let us begin with the contest proper. So contestant number 1 is not, okay. Okay, so contestant number 1 is not available. We will proceed to contestant number 2. So once I call your name, you will be on stage. Okay, they will be given their 6 minutes for the questions. For the questions, for contestant number 2, the question is, in what ways? Okay. So contestant number 2 is from Don Andres Soriano National High School from Toledo City Division, a grade 12 student. We have Areld P. Abanto. Your question is, in what ways do today's frontliners, such as health workers, embody the bravery exemplified by General Maxilom? Again, the question, in what ways, this is for number 2, contestant number 2, in what ways do today's frontliners, such as health workers, embody the bravery exemplified by General Maxilom? For contestant number 3. Contestant number 3 is 𝗂𝗲𝗃 from Sangi Elementary School, a grade 6 student. The question. The question for contestant number 3. What are the human rights issues today that need to be addressed by modern-day heroes, reflecting General Maxilom's dedication to freedom? Again, for contestant number 3, what are the human rights issues today that need to be addressed by modern-day heroes, reflecting General Maxilom's dedication to freedom?
General Arcadio Maxilom.
Right? Sound check. May we request contestant number 2 to be on stage?
Sir, pwede na ako tangtang sir na tarungon sa ako kung here.
Contestant number 2. Once again, contestant number 2 is Harold P. Abanto from Don Andres Soriano National High School. The question once again, in what ways do today's frontliners, such as health workers, embody the bravery exemplified by General Maxilom?
Maxilom at 162. Maxilom at 162. Down. Maxilom at 162. Okay.
Your speech starts now.
Throughout our history, the name General Arcadio Maxilom echoes a legacy of unyielding courage and sacrifice. A man who did not merely fight for our freedom, but lived to restore our nation's dignity. He embodied a spirit that refuses to bow and an heroism that transcends time. And today, we are called to reflect. In what ways do today's frontliners embody the bravery exemplified by General Maxilom? To our esteemed judges, teachers, and to my fellow students, Today, as we delve into the legacy of General Maxilom, let us also explore the lessons of his story that is imparted to us. Now, let me start off by saying that General Maxilom's bravery was steadfast. During the Philippine Revolution, he led Cebuano forces, refusing to surrender even when the odds were against him. And his resolve helped keep the revolutionary spirit alive and inspired other provinces to rise up and fight for what is true. Later, during the Philippine-American War, his dedication kept him standing firm even when surrender seemed like the easiest path. He was more than just a commander. He was a guardian of his people, deeply committed to the welfare of his fellow people, fighting them or defending them against injustices of colonial rule. In today's world, his legacy lives on the selfless acts of our modern-day heroes. Our healthcare workers who risk their lives to save others. Our teachers, community leaders, and advocators who stand for justice and uplift their community, showing us that true heroism isn't just found on the battlefields. And what about us youth? Maxilom fought for freedom and justice. So as we honor the heroes of our past, let us also recognize the heroes among us. Every act of courage, every moment of service, every display of patriotism shown by our fellow Cebuanos, those are testaments of his ideals. So, this shows that his legacy continues not only in history books, but in every Filipino who dares to make a difference. Thank you.
So, thank you very much. That was contestant number 2. Okay.
We remind the students, before you start your speech, you pause for 2 seconds. After the moderator would say that your speech starts now, you pause for 2 seconds because we are cutting the video for your Netizen's Choice Award. So please remember.
Okay, thank you very much, Miss A. So again, reminder to all our contestants, wait for 2 seconds. After I say, you can deliver your speech. Okay, once again, thank you very much, contestant number 2. Up next, we'd like to call contestant number 3 on stage. Check sound. We proceed to question number 4. For question number 3. What are the human rights issues today that need to be addressed by the modern day heroes reflecting General Maxilom's dedication to freedom? Again, for contestant number 3, what are the human rights issues today that need to be addressed by the modern day heroes reflecting General Maxilom's dedication to freedom? For question number 4, from 𝗚𝗲𝗏𝗃 National High School, grade 11 student, 𝗏𝗏𝗃. Your question, provide examples of individuals who, like General Maxilom, uphold integrity and strong moral principles in their professions. Again, provide examples of individuals who, like General Maxilom, uphold integrity and strong morals in their professions. Contestant number 3, please be on stage. Later on will be contestant number 4. Contestant number 3. Contestant number 3 is a grade 6 pupil from 𝗤𝗏𝗏𝗏 Elementary School, 𝗚𝗲𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. Again, your question, what are the human rights issues today that need to be addressed by modern day heroes, reflecting General Maxilom's dedication to freedom? Your speech. Mic check, please.
General Maxilom, 162.
Okay. Your speech starts now.
Imagine facing an enemy so powerful that surrender feels like the only option. Yet, there's one voice, one leader who refuses to back down, who fights for freedom and justice against all odds. This was General Arcadio Maxilom, a Cebuano hero who fought fiercely for the Filipino independence, whose ideals are not only preserved through the history books, but also through the modern-day heroes who continue to fight for the freedom and justice of our nation. So what are the human rights issues today that need to be addressed by modern-day heroes reflecting General Maxilom's dedication to freedom? In the present day, the most common issues are corruption and unjust rights for our fellow Filipinos. Yet, today, our activists, journalists, and advocates work tirelessly to protect human rights and fight corruption, just as Maxilom was unafraid to defy the odds. These individuals stand tall, ensuring that truth and fairness are upheld in our society. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Contestant number 3. That was 𝗚𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, grade 6 pupil from 𝗤𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 Elementary School, Toledo City Division. Once again, for number 4, contestant number 4. She is a grade 11 student from 𝗚𝗲𝗏𝗏 National High School in Toledo City Division. Let us welcome Villegas Avila. Her question, once again, provide examples of individuals who, like General Maxilom, uphold integrity and strong moral principles in their professions. Again, the question. Provide examples. Again, the question. Provide examples of individuals who, like General Mic check. Okay, once again, we have Precious Avila, a grade 11 student from Loraidos National High School in Toledo City.
General Maxilom at 162.
Her question once again, provide examples of individuals who, like General Maxilom, uphold integrity and strong moral principles in their professions. Mic check.
General Maxilom at 162.
Now.
Ladies and gentlemen, honorable judges, and esteemed audience, good afternoon. Today, as we gather here to honor the legacy of General Arcadio Maxilom, let us acknowledge those individuals who shows the same moral principles just like General Maxilom. Doctors and nurses sacrifices their comfort in order to save sick people, especially during pandemic. This is similar to how General Maxilom shows love for his fellow Filipinos. Firefighters who rush into the burning buildings in order to save lives shows the same courage that General Maxilom had. Teachers love to teach the kids shows the same perseverance to show that histories. So these individuals shows the same moral principles of General Arcadio Maxilom. Thank you.
So, thank you very much, contestant number 4. I will now read in advance the question for Areld Abanto. Oh, sorry. Hannah May Arrogancia for contestant number 5. The question: describe a public servant or a social worker who continues General Maxilom's legacy of selfless service. Again, the question for contestant number 5, describe a public servant or a social worker who continues General Maxilom's legacy of selfless service. This is for contestant number 5, Hannah May Arrogancia, a grade 11 student from St. Teresa's College, Cebu City Division. And I will read in advance the question for contestant number 6. This is for Von Kashmir Anito from Don Vicente Rama Memorial National High School. Your question: how can students show resilience and determination in overcoming challenges similar to General Maxilom's perseverance? Again, the question for contestant number 6, Von Kashmir Anito of Don Vicente Rama Memorial National High School: how can students show resilience and determination in overcoming challenges similar to General Maxilom's perseverance? Thank you very much to our marching band. In advance, the question for contestant number 7. This is for 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗏, a grade 12 student from Toledo City Science High School, Toledo City Division. Your question: in what ways can today's social justice, in what ways can today's social justice advocates fight for equality, reflecting General Maxilom's ideals? Again, the question for you, contestant number 7. In what ways can today's social justice advocates fight for equality, reflecting General Maxilom's ideals? We'll also read in advance the question for contestant number 8, 𝗏𝗏𝗵𝗏, a grade 12 student from Tejero National High School. Your question, contestant number 8. How do today's leaders demonstrate loyalty to their constituents and principles akin to General Maxilom's dedication? Again, your question, contestant number 8. How do today's leaders demonstrate loyalty to their constituents and principles akin to General Maxilom's dedication? Contestant number 5, be ready. May we request contestant number 5 to be on stage. Mic test, please.
Mic test. Mic General Arcadio at 162.
Okay, once again, your question, contestant number 5. Again, mic check.
General Arcadio at 162.
Okay, thank you very much. Again, your question. Describe a public servant or a social worker who continues General Maxilom's legacy of selfless service.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen and others. Good afternoon to our esteemed panelists. My name is 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗏𝗏, and I am from St. Teresa's College of Cebu. And if you don't know where that is, it is directly in front of General Maxilom Avenue. And while preparing for this extemporaneous speech, I pass by that street every single day, and I ask the question, which public servant do I see for myself? Who is my General Arcadio in terms of public servants? And my answer to my own question is Miriam Defensor Santiago, the Iron Lady of Asia, arguably one of the best senators we have ever had, and arguably one of the best presidents we never had. The thing I see the most about Miriam that directly reflects General Maxilom is the fact that even when she knew she was dying of cancer, she was still willing to run for president. She was still willing to die for our country. And seeing her run for president at the age of 8 years old, I found this sense of self. I looked at her and I said, that's who I want to be. And I presume that the people that were similar or near Arcadio Maxilom's generation also saw the same passion, the same courage, the same patriotism to the country. The fact that General Arcadio was willing to die, was willing to be persecuted, prosecuted in the name of the Philippines is such a noble thing to do. And I see that exact same thing in 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 Santiago. There is a reason why she is labeled the Iron Lady of Asia, and there is a reason why General Arcadio Maxilom had the longest funeral here in Cebu, spanning around 4 kilometers, and that is because they have inspired young people. They have inspired people like me. 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 Santiago and General Arcadio inspired young people to create change. And therefore, my General Arcadio Maxilom is 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 Santiago. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Contestant number 5, that was 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, grade 11 student from St. Teresa's College. Let us now proceed to contestant number 6, Von Kashmir Anito, a grade 11 student from Don Vicente Rama Memorial National High School. Mic check, please.
Maxilom at 162.
Once again, mic check.
Maxilom at 162.
Your question: how can students show resilience and determination in overcoming challenges similar to General Maxilom's perseverance? You may start your speech now.
Ladies and gentlemen, I myself am a student, and to be frank, I do have many challenges facing today. Currently, in my academics, I have many tasks to do. In earth and life science, to the performance tasks like oral communication, presenting the news, in fact. And to be frank, I feel down at times. But here in this speech, I'm going to tell you that there is one thing that we can have resilience and determination. That is bravery, and that is trust. Remember, General Arcadio Maxilom did not surrender for the Philippine War of Independence. He only surrendered in 1901 during the end of the Philippine-American War. In fact, he was the last general to surrender in Cebu. Now, come to think of it, as a student, and many exams coming, trust yourself. You can do it. We can do it. In fact, I trust each and every one of these people, the contenders who are joining this debate, because we are students too. So I repeat my statement. Bravery is the key. And that is my answer for this question. Thank you, and have a nice day.
Very much. Thank you very much, contestant number 6. Before we proceed to contestant number 7, I would like to read in advance the question for contestant number 9 and number 10. For contestant number 9, Alfonso Gian Monton from Don Bosco Technical College, Cebu Incorporated. Your question: how can environment advocates draw inspiration from General Maxilom's love for his homeland to protect natural resources? Again, the question for contestant number 9: how can environmental advocates draw inspiration from General Maxilom's love for his homeland to protect natural resources? Up next, I would like to read also for contestant number 10. For contestant number 10, your question. Contestant number 10 is, of course, from Luray Dos National High School, a grade 12 student, Jasmine Claire Oxon. Your question: how are young leaders today embodying General Maxilom's spirit and initiating positive changes in their communities? Again, How are young leaders today embodying General Maxilom's spirit and initiating positive changes in their communities? Up next, we'd like to call on stage contestant number 7. Contestant number 7, mic check. Once again, mic check.
Maxilom at 162.
Contestant number 7 is 𝗠𝗶𝘁𝗵𝗶, a grade 12 student from Toledo City Science High School. Once again, mic check.
Maxilom at 162.
Your question: in what ways can today's social justice advocates fight for equality, reflecting General Maxilom's ideals? Your speech starts now.
Now, I don't want to alarm everybody in this room, but as time will pass, somebody will tell you, I demand you to surrender. And you'll know why. On December 16, 1898, a Cebuano hero known to be stubborn demanded the Spanish authorities to surrender and leave his people, in which they did in a matter of 3 days. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I want you all to envision a grand tapestry that represents our society, who votes for equality. Each citizen holds a thread that helps the tapestry weave together to create a beautiful pattern of democracy. And as each citizen holds each unique color of the thread, it holds Maxilom's unwavering values: purpose, courage, and action. Purpose, because when Maxilom arrived in Tuburan, he knew the hopeless situation of the Katipuneros. And as we apply that in the social advocates of the day, despite the revolving issues around them that can be overwhelming, they choose to have a purpose because they know what being a Filipino is. Next is courage. When Maxilom was having a hard time trying to fight against the Spanish forces, he knew that they have to have a belief. The belief of Leon Kilat, wherein they need to have a belief of being strong and remain faithful despite the hard challenges. And lastly, action. Maxilom left a legacy of activism. And in today's modern times, we, the social advocates, should also have that kind of spirit. So to all my social advocates over there, ask everyone left and right, I demand you to surrender your ignorance, doubt, and negativity for our nation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, contestant number 7. Before we proceed to contestant number 8, we will have a quick intermission number from our marching band.
General Maxilom's spirit is reflected in those people who serve communities with resilience and compassion. Take a modern-day leader, for example, just as Maxilom stood in the face of the overwhelming odds during the fight for independence. Our modern-day heroes were willing to sacrifice themselves for the well-being of others, showing dedication that reflects Maxilom's spirit. And our military men who are willing
Check sound. All right. Let us now proceed to our next contestant. Contestant number 8. Mic check.
General Arcadio Maxilom.
Let's have a second mic check.
General Arcadio Maxilom.
Your question once again, contestant number 8. Once again, mic check. Okay. 𝗏𝗂𝗵𝗶 from Teheran National High School, a grade 12 student. Your question: how do today's leaders demonstrate loyalty to their constituents and principles akin to General Maxilom's dedication?
Yes. 𝗏𝗏𝗀𝗵𝗏.
𝗏𝗏𝗀𝗵𝗏. We are on track, ma'am. Thank you. Once again, 𝗏𝗏𝗵𝗏, grade 12 student from Teheran National High School.
𝗏𝗏𝗀𝗵𝗏.
His question, I'd just like to repeat: how do today's leaders demonstrate loyalty to their constituents and principles akin to General Maxilom's dedication? Okay. Thank you. Mic check once again.
General Arcadio Maxilom.
Your speech now.
I will not bow to those who try to take away our freedom. We will fight with everything we have until every last one of us is free. Cebuanos, attack! Dear judges, teachers, and fellow students, good afternoon. Those powerful words and actions, General Arcadio Maxilom showed us what it means to fight for freedom. His dedication and resilience haven't faded in our history, as vivid today as they were back then, resonating to the acts of everyday heroes from generations to generations of every Cebuanos. The true spirit of General Maxilom is never dead. Today, General Maxilom's spirit is reflected in those people who serve their communities with resilience and compassion. Take our modern day leaders, for example. Just as Maxilom stood in the face of the overwhelming odds during the fight for the independence, our modern day heroes are willing to sacrifice themselves for the well-being of our Filipinos. And our uniformed men, who are the leader of our security and peace, often putting their life at risk to serve and protect of every Cebuanos and Filipinos. As the generation of this youth, General Maxilom, thanks to you, we will pledge to carry your legacy in our hearts so that your fight for freedom will never be in vain. Live on in our hearts so that the quest for success is always reachable. Thank you and good afternoon.
Thank you as well, 𝗏𝗏𝗵𝗏 from Teheran National High School, a grade 12 student. That was contestant number 8. Before we proceed to our next contestant, I would like to read in advance the question for contestant number 11. Contestant number 11 is, of course, Angel Kate Dovibar from Bato National High School. Your question: give examples on how netizens can keep General Maxilom's legacy alive. Again, for contestant number 11, give questions on how netizens can keep General Maxilom's legacy alive. We now go back. Okay, before we proceed to our next contestant, once again, to give also our judges time to tabulate their scores. Don't forget that for November and December, we have different events here in Palm Grass. On November 30, we have Andres Bonifacio's birthday. And on December 7, we have Hulma and Friends poetry reading and spoken poetry contest. On December 14, in the spirit of Christmas, we have Belen nga Kabilin. And on December 21, we have the cults on the Holy Family and poetry reading with Willa. And on December 29, a very important event that we celebrate every year, that is Pasko sa Kagawasan. All right, so we hope to see you either on-site or online during these events. And don't forget to like and follow our page here at Palm Grass, the Cebu Heritage Hotel. Up next, let us welcome on stage contestant number 9, 𝗠𝗶𝘁𝗵𝗶 Monton, a grade 12 student from Don Bosco Technical College, Cebu. Your question: how can environment advocates draw inspiration from General Maxilom's love for his homeland to protect natural resources? Before you answer, let us have a mic check.
Maxilom at 162.
Again, second mic check.
Maxilom at 162.
Your speech starts now.
In 1887, our dear hero, 𝗏𝗏𝗏 once wrote, "It is a useless life that is not consecrated to a great ideal. It is like a stone wasted on a field that without becoming part of any edifice." One such stone that marked itself in the pages of history and in the foundation of our nation's birth is General Arcadio Maxilom. Originally, I structured this speech in telling the story of General Maxilom, but it was already presented earlier. So to answer the question that was given to me earlier, never give up. Be like Arcadio Maxilom. Do not surrender. Make your voices be heard to our government leaders, our mayors, our governors, the lawmakers, the congressmen, and especially the president. Make your voices be heard. Do not give up. Do not back down. Be like General Arcadio Maxilom. Fight until the end. General Maxilom's journey reminds us that history is not just filled with heroes born into greatness, but with ordinary people who made choices that changed the course of our nation. Every time you push for something better in our communities or for our country, you are carrying the legacy that Rizal, Leon Kilat, General Maxilom, and countless others began. Heroism isn't in the past. It is right here with you, with all of us. So before I end this speech, let me leave you a quote from 𝗏𝗏𝗏. "Con el recuerdo de pasado, entro en el porvenir." Or in English, I enter the future with a memory of the past. Thank you and good afternoon.
Thank you very much. Contestant number 9, that was 𝗠𝗶𝘁𝗵𝗶 Monton from Don Bosco Technical College, Cebu. Now before we move on to our next contestant, I would like to read in advance the question for contestant number 12, Carl Zachary Lesol from Argao National High School. Your question: how do educators in Cebu today reflect General Maxilom's commitment to education and enlightenment of the youth? Again, your question, contestant number 12. How do educators in Cebu today reflect General Maxilom's commitment to education and enlightenment of the youth. And before we proceed to our next contestant, contestant number 10 here on stage, I would like you to direct your attention to the screen because we are showing something earlier. This was mentioned by Miss A, and that is 𝗏𝗶 Maxilom.
Mayong adlaw, I am Chef Kate, and today I will be showing to you how to make Cebuano or local dishes. Our dishes are named after Cebuano heroes.
Very good. It's nice.
Yes, yes.
It's soft. It's tender. There's sweetness to it.
Sound check. All right, so thank you very much. So looking at the video, makagutom jud siya. So that is a very special cuisine prepared to you here by Palm Grass. So that is 𝗏𝗶 Maxilom. So you can avail of it once you visit Palm Grass anytime. Of course, we would like you to be here during November and December. We'd like to invite you to spend your Christmas here at Palm Grass. Of course, we are inviting those also watching us all the way from Luzon. I believe Taguig is currently watching us right now. So hello to our friends and to our teachers there in Taguig. I hope Doc Jobers is also watching us today. So thank you very much, Sir Jobers, for your talk earlier. And we actually learned a lot through from your talk earlier, so thank you very much. And then later on, we will be continuing with our contest. And of course, the winners will be announced through our Facebook page, or will be announced here. Okay, on November 30, during the Andres Bonifacio's birthday. All right, so for all of us who join us, and by the way, to all our students who have not yet presented or who presented earlier as well, share the video link to your respective friends, family, classmates, and schoolmates. All right. Okay. Now I would like to read in advance the question for Mark Gabriel Ong from Abeliana National High School. Your question. Okay. So I stand corrected. This is for number 13, Precious Zoe Buliastan, a grade 11 student from Toledo City Science High School. Your question, Precious. How do local officials in Cebu exemplify General Maxilom's leadership qualities in serving the communities? Once again, how do local officials in Cebu exemplify General Maxilom's leadership qualities in serving their communities? This is for contestant number 13, Precious Zoe Buliastan from Toledo City Science High School. Okay. Now we will witness the speech from contestant number 10. Let us welcome on stage from Luray Dos National High School, a grade 12 student, Jasmine Claire Oxon. Your question, contestant number 10. How are young leaders today embodying General Maxilom's spirit and initiating positive changes in their communities? Before you answer, let us do a mic check.
Maxilom at 162.
You may deliver your speech now.
Ladies and gentlemen, honorable judges, esteemed audience, and fellow participants, good afternoon. Today, as we gather here to honor and to celebrate our heroes, let us look into a man whose life speaks volumes of resilience, patriotism, bravery, and unwavering love, care, support, and commitment to his people, General Arcadio Maxilom. General Arcadio Maxilom showed us that a love once for one's country doesn't mean what we feel inside our hearts. It can simply mean true actions by simply showing yourself in the face of others even when it's hard. It's easy to say that we love our country, but the question is, would you live for it? Would you stand for it? Or would you even die for it? General Arcadio did this all. He lived it. He fought back. When the Philippine Revolution is urging, many leaders had surrendered, thinking that all hope is lost. But not General Maxilom. He remained resilient during these times. Now, how us as young leaders today embodying General Maxilom's spirit and initiating positive changes in their communities? They remain resilient during their hardships and in facing their adversity. They remain patriots on how they take care of their communities, on how they pursue their goals, and on how they fight for justice, truth, and freedom. We need to be patriots, not just in our words, but also in our actions. As we walk forward, let us carry his legacy of resilience, patriotism, bravery, and unwavering love, care, support, and commitment to his people. The name General Arcadio Maxilom must be remembered for the Cebuanos and for the other Filipinos. Let us not remember him as a distant hero, but let us remember him as a source of inspiration for a better future. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Sorry. Thank you very much, contestant number 10. Before we proceed to our next contestant, contestant 11, I would like to read in advance the question for contestant number 14, Mark Gabriel Ong from Abiliana National High School. Your question, contestant number 14. Describe General Maxilom's admirable qualities that you have seen in a modern-day hero. Again, your question, describe General Maxilom's admirable qualities that you have seen in a modern-day hero. And now let us witness the speech from Angel Kate Dovibar, a grade 12 student from Bato National High School from Toledo City Division. Let us give her a big round of applause. Before I give the question, let us do a mic check.
Mic check. Maxilom at 162.
Let's have a second mic check, please.
Maxilom at 162.
Your question. Give examples on how netizens can keep General Maxilom's legacy alive through social media. Yeah. Okay.
Mic check. General Maxilom at 162. General Maxilom at 162.
You may deliver your speech now.
Good afternoon, judges, esteemed guests, and fellow students. So today, we are gathered to talk about our great Cebuano hero, General Arcadio Maxilom. But what makes him truly a hero? It is not just about the battles that he fought. Well, it is about the ideals that he fought for. General Maxilom's, the way that he battles the colonization, his determination for fighting our country is something that we, everyone in the world, should be proud of. But how can we keep that legacy? How can we even proud of his legacy? It is through social media. As we know, social media is very rampant in today's generation. We have various social media platforms such as TikTok, in which one single 15-minute video, so much can be said. Not only that, We also have Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, many, many more. And if we are going to discuss on through that different social media platforms, the greatness of our great General Arcadio Maxilom, everyone in the corners of the world can know and can appreciate how great our Cebuano hero is. Not just us Cebuanos, not just the Filipinos, but everyone in the world through social media can appreciate, and together we can celebrate the greatness of our Cebuano hero. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Contestant number 11. Before we proceed to contestant number 12, before his performance, once again, I would like to plug in our upcoming events. So on November 30, we have the Freemasonry in the 1896 Philippine Revolution. And karon, just to add to something, medyo humot-humot na tong room, basin mauna ni ang humba ni Maxilom, nagiluto na. Yes, so yes, we are having that one in honor of General Maxilom. Also, once again, on December 7, we have Hulma and Friends Poetry Reading and Spoken Poetry Contest. And on December 14, Bilen nga Kabilin. On December 21, we have Cults on the Holy Family and Poetry Reading with Willa. And on December 29, a big event we'll be celebrating here, Pasko sa Kagawasan. Okay. So we'd like to have on stage contestant number 12. He is a grade 12 student from Argao National High School. He is Carl Zachary Liesol. Contestant number 12, your question. Oh, before we have the question, let us do a mic check.
General Maxilom 162.
Okay, your question. How do educators in Cebu today reflect General Maxilom's commitment to education and enlightenment of the youth? You may deliver your speech now.
Leadership with integrity, patriotism, and courage. These are the very values General Maxilom imbued with his commitment towards Philippine liberty and political freedom. Ladies and gentlemen, good day. I am a committed student, and I will be sharing with you my thoughts and sentiments on how do our modern-day educators in Cebu, not just in Cebu, but in Philippines, reflect General Maxilom's commitment to education and enlightenment of the youth. Well, truly, the time has changed. From letters to electronic mails, from horses to cars and planes. But things that stayed, past and present, are the ideals of General Maxilom, and also the beauty of revolutionary education. In our modern-day time, truly that educators are the walking embodiments of General Maxilom's qualities, the qualities he employed hundreds of years ago, if we backtrack, with the way they facilitate the learning, the development, and the molding of students, not just to become individuals who will be interested in sciences, mathematics, technology, and innovation, but individuals with personality, individuals with attitude necessary in the workplace, and most especially, individuals with visible path track. Just like General Maxilom, our modern-day educators truly use revolutionary education to create ripples of inspiration, and they use their voice, not just within the academe, but also in broader communities. Before joining in the competition, I doubted myself, and one teacher believed in me that I could do it. This is the world that I want to live in, and a world millions of Filipinos want to live in as well, where we use revolutionary education to spark changes and to bring the nation together. Because this is the world that General Arcadio Maxilom aspired and envisioned to have. Thank you very much.
Thank you as well, contestant number 12. Before we have a presentation or performance coming from our marching band, I would like to read in advance the question for contestant number 15. That is Gabriel Jane Sotelieza from Mabolo Elementary School. So contestant number 15, here is your question. So your question, how do modern-day heroes in disaster response team Response teams embody the resilience and readiness that General Maxilom demonstrated. Again, your question for contestant number 15. How do modern-day heroes in disaster response teams embody the resilience and readiness that General Maxilom demonstrated? All right. So before we have contestant number 13 here on stage, let us have another performance coming from our Cebu City Marching Band. All right, thank you very much once again to our band. Okay, up next will be on stage. We have contestant number 13. She is a grade 11 student from Toledo City Science High School, Toledo City Division. Let us welcome Precious Zoe Bulias Tan. Before I give the question, let us do a mic check. Again, let us do a second mic check.
General Maxilom at 162.
Your question, contestant number 13. How do local officials in Cebu exemplify General Maxilom's leadership qualities in serving their communities? You may deliver your speech now.
Heroes come in many forms. And while our history books have immortalized their deeds, the essence of their actions continue to live on through the actions of our modern-day heroes, specifically speaking, our local government officials. Maxilom united our guerrilla forces in order to gain the freedom that we are currently experiencing right now. And that freedom was led by his two leadership traits, specifically compassion and patriotism. Compassion gave him the heart to listen and identify a problem within our people. And patriotism gave him the courage in order to find ways and let ourselves take control of our own lives. And much like General Maxilom, our leaders and officials have had that qualities and listened to the problems and concerns of our citizens. With that, they have managed to build collective actions such as organizing communities and organizations for our youth in order for them to be heard. We also have problems that were solved using programs such as 4Ps in order to aid our marginalized communities and Cebu Negosyo in order to aid our people to earn a living for our livelihood. With these, with General Maxilom and our local government officials, they have shown us that victory is reserved for those who are willing to pay the price. And the price for freedom and victory is eternal vigilance mixed with compassion and patriotism. Thank you.
Right, thank you very much. Contestant number 13. Okay, so thank you for that. Sorry for the delay. Up next to perform on stage, he's a grade 10 student from Abiliana National High School, a grade 10 student. Contestant number 14, Mark Gabriel Ong. Before I give the question, let us do a mic check.
Hello? Maxilom.
All right. Your question, contestant number 14. Describe General Maxilom's admirable qualities that you have seen in a modern-day hero.
You may deliver your speech now. Rabindranath Tagore states, man's history is being shaped according to the difficulties it encounters. But the question is, can we, as citizens of this now time, amidst the difficulties we encounter, truly shape and love our nation? Hello. Hello, mic test. Hello. 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 Hello.
Okay, we will have a round 2. We apologize for the technical difficulties. Okay, contestant number 14, you may deliver your speech now.
Rabindranath Tagore states, man's history is being shaped according to the difficulties it encounters. But the question is, can we, as citizens of this now time, amidst the difficulties we encounter, truly shape and love our nation? A nation should be a place that one could consider as the beginning of exploration and to look forward to in their brightest of futures. If one does truly love their nation, one moves to exert great feats in order to shelter their country's well-being. Once, a man in history exemplified this example under the name of General Maxilom. Today, we will explore how General Maxilom's dedication and sacrifices serve as a powerful reminder for our responsibilities to our nation. Maxilom fought for his country's, the Philippines, for its independence, not because it is for his own responsibility, but because he loved his own nation. Maxilom's actions exemplify the power of nationalism as a foundation of independence and sovereignty. He fought not just for his own freedom, but to protect the lives and futures of his fellow countrymen. His unwavering perseverance and dedication laid the groundwork for the country striving for self-determination. Today, we will celebrate his contributions as a monumental achievement that inspires us to continue his legacy. More so, his battle was to serve as a reminder that we will eventually succeed if we were to protect something important. Let us not forget that anyone, and what I mean by anyone is our dear judges, the audience, and my fellow contestants, and all those who are doing their parts in resonating with the ideals of General Maxilom in striving and persevering to protect and preserve our country. Yes, anyone can be Maxilom, but only let's follow his tracks. To be brave is to take the risk and do anything for the sake of one's nation. Nationalism is not just a feeling. It is a driving force behind our quest for freedom and the protection of our heritage. Let us honor General Maxilom, not with our words, but by our actions. Let us commit ourselves for the betterment of our nation in whatever capacity we can. As we move forward, let us remember that true love for our nation is not measured by our words, but by our actions. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, contestant number 14. Before we proceed to our next performer, we have the question for contestant number 17, Zian Yap from Tejero Elementary School. Your question, how do anti-corruption advocates uphold General Maxilom's ideals? Again, this is for contestant number 17. How do anti-corruption advocates uphold General Maxilom's ideals? All right. Up next to perform on stage, we have contestant number 15, a grade 6 student from Mabolo Elementary School, Cebu City Division. Let us welcome contestant number 15, Gabriel Jane Sotelieza. Let us do a mic check first. Once again, another mic check.
Maxilom 162.
All right. Contestant number 15.
A pleasant afternoon to you evaluators, fellow contestants, teachers, and guests. Today, we honor the legacy of General Arcadio Maxilom for his legacy of protecting our country and justice. To answer the question, how do modern-day heroes and disaster response teams embody the resilience and readiness that General Maxilom demonstrated? Well, response teams are very ready in any disaster, for any natural disaster that happens. Whenever I see disasters live on TV, I now see that they are very similar to General Maxilom in a way that even if it says impossible, they will put their lives on the line. They will put their lives on the line for others, saving and protecting those in need. Now, even if they are tired, they will do the work no matter what. They are very strong like General Maxilom. They don't hesitate to help others in need. Thank you. Shit, I don't like that shit. Oh shit, Mama. I don't like that.
Thank you very much. Contestant number 15. Okay, so before we proceed, once again, we'd like to request all our on-site audience to probably minimize the voice so that our contestants can concentrate. Okay, I would like to read in advance the question for contestant number 18. Contestant number 18, of course, is a grade 12 student from Cebu City National Science High School, Cebu City Division, 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. Your question, contestant number 18. How can today's youth demonstrate a deep love for their homeland similar to General Maxilom's patriotism? Again, the question is, how can today's youth demonstrate a deep love for their homeland similar to General Maxilom's patriotism? Before our next presenter, we'd like to turn you over once again to another performance coming from our Cebu City Marching Band.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and especially to our honorable judges. What I want to talk today is about General Maxilom, a timeless example of bravery. General Maxilom, a man who
sound. Thank you very much to our marching band. So before we have contestant number 17 here on stage, I will read in advance the question for contestant number 19. Of course, contestant number 19 is a grade 11 student from Cebu City National Science High School. We have Frederick Wilhelm Kesner V. Your question, contestant number 19. As a future government leader, what policies would you implement to align with General Maxilom's aspirations for his people? Again, your question. As a future government leader, what policies would you implement to align with General Maxilom's aspiration for his people? Okay. Now let us witness the speech coming from contestant number 17, a grade 6 student from Tejero Elementary School, Cebu City Division. We have Zian Yap. Let's have a mic check first.
General Maxilom in 162.
Your question once again. Number 17. How do anti-corruption advocates uphold General Maxilom's ideals? You may deliver your speech now.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and especially to our honorable judges. What I want to talk about today is General Maxilom's bravery in tough situations. As we can see, General Maxilom is a true hero who fights for what we believe in. We can all learn from how much he believed in the Filipino people and how brave he was in tough situations. But how do these traits apply to the heroes we see today? First, General Maxilom's unwavering faith in the Filipino people is similar to the dedication of modern-day heroes who fight for what they believe in. Second, General Maxilom's bravery in tough situations is similar to that of modern-day heroes who face their own problems and fight for what they believe in. Lastly, General Maxilom's unwavering dedication is similar to the modern-day heroes who fight for human rights, social justice, and against corruption. This is Sian Sisonia proudly saying, "Let us be the heroes of our time and make the future better for ourselves and for future generations." Thank you.
Thank you very much, contestant number 17. Up next, we'd like to call on stage contestant number 18. She is a grade 12 student from Cebu City National Science High School, Cebu City Division. She is Chloe G. Lotivio, contestant number 18. Before I give the question, let us have a mic check.
Maxilom at 162.
Let's have a second mic check, please.
Maxilom at 162.
All right. Your question, once again, contestant 18. How can today's youth demonstrate a deep love for their homeland similar to General Maxilom's patriotism? You may deliver your speech now.
In a world where there are so many problems, have you ever asked yourself the question, what can I do? The youth has so much potential. The youth has so much say in our future. General Maxilom lived a life by what I call the pillars of heroism. P stands for patriotism. We exhibit this especially during times of calamities and disasters, where we embody the essence of kabayanihan. Next, I stands for integrity. The youth should act with truth and honesty, abiding by the moral principles. Next is L, leadership. The youth should start leading people, involving themselves in resolving conflicts. Next L is loyalty. Let us be loyal to our friends, to our families, and pledge allegiance to our organizations. Next is advocate. Let us advocate for certain causes for the marginalized. Next is resilience. Even in insurmountable odds, let us have firm resolute. And next is sacrifice. Even when you think that it is for the greater good, then there's no harm in sacrificing or being selfless. General Maxilom teaches us that we do not need to be in battlefields to be recognized as heroes or to establish our love for the country. Just as long as we have the courage to serve and to recognize the truth, then we can be our own heroes. Let's immerse ourselves in societal issues, engage ourselves to charities and works of volunteerism, because after all, we are living in one world, and it is up to our collective efforts to turn our dreams into reality. And so I encourage you all to seek for that area wherein you can help. And among all that, let us take the example of General Maxilom and the many other heroes of our history, embodying the pillars of heroism, carving our paths better and brighter today. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Contestant number 18. All right, so before we proceed to our last contestant, we have another performance, once again, coming from our Cebu City Marching Band. Thank you very much. And now to our last contestant for today's extemporaneous speech. Here we have from a grade 11 student from Cebu City National Science High School, Cebu City Division. Let us welcome Frederick Wilhelm Kesner V. Before I give the question, let us have a mic check.
Maxilom at 162. Maxilom at 162.
Your question. As a future government leader, what policies would you implement to align with General Maxilom's aspirations for his people? You may deliver your speech now.
Imagine a busy day at Malacanang Palace. The president gets out of his bed and puts on a barong Tagalog with cuffs fit to perfection and his shoes shined like a diamond. As he takes step on the podium, he says live on TV, "As we look at the past state of our country, let us celebrate the progress that you and I have made for your cooperation and my leadership. That president is going to be me." Today, the modern generation stands at the crossroads of tradition and modernity, faced with the imperative to redefine our Filipinos. As we navigate through these complexities and struggles, one hero serves as an inspiration to me. General Arcadio Maxilom. Firstly, I would implement SPED-Ed to the special needs. By doing this, I would ensure that everybody is tended to in the educational landscape, whether it be where they're from or who they are or what their background is. It wouldn't matter because I believe in equality and equity. Secondly, I would provide more healthcares that open up to mental health care because I know that a modern problem in today's society is mental health. Not only that, I would also add more advanced technologies to help our health facilities. And lastly, I would like to celebrate and implement policies that would let us appreciate our heroes, our past heroes, for where we are today. Not only we celebrate a day, but we encourage everybody to embody their values, to embody their principles, because we are the future leaders of today and the future. In the end, by implementing these three policies, I can ensure that the society, the future society of the Filipino youth and the Filipino geniuses, I can ensure that everybody is tended to, everybody is taken care of, and that we would not forget our heroes. We would preserve their values in a way that nobody has before. In the end, I leave you with a quote. The faces of our past are the faces of our future and today. And I urge each and every one of you to take it to your heart. Take that quote to your heart, because we are the future leaders of tomorrow. And I thank you.
Thank you very much, contestant number 19. And you know what? Let us give all our contestants a big round of applause. All right. So our judges are currently doing their final scoring. Once again, I would like to invite those who are watching us today, tonight, through our Facebook Live to continue sharing our current video. You may share it to your respective friends. I know na-invite ninyong tanaw ang inyong mga classmates, guys, families. Okay, I hope they are watching right now. Feel free, show your support. And as mentioned earlier, the announcement of winners will be on November 30. So, your speeches from earlier are recorded. They will be edited and they will be uploaded one by one, if I'm not mistaken. Okay? So again, the winners will be announced on November 30. And of course, continue to share our page. This is Palmgrass, the Cebu Heritage Hotel, the only hotel that I'm proud of that continues to share local and even Cebuano history and other things that you normally can find, let's say, in books. We don't normally talk about it. We learn a lot. Okay, and of course, I myself as a teacher, unsa to akong nakatunan diri, ako nadunggan, I will share to my students as well. Okay, so now we will be hearing this time from our judges. Okay, so I think the cameras are already on them. So we'd like to hear first from our first judge, once again, the Commissioner of the Cebu City Cultural and Historical Affairs Commission, Architect Hava.
Thank you so much. You know, listening to our very young speakers this afternoon, I really feel humbled because I'm so impressed by the deliveries. The deliveries have been so gripping among some of them, and the contents have been so rich in inspiring ideas like compassion, selflessness, resilience, and even plans for the future, you know, coming from these young people, gives me goosebumps. You know, I know these very beautiful ideas will hold them in good stead as future leaders and heroes as well. And of course, I thank and appreciate these events being initiated and hosted by my good friend, Ma'am Agripina, by Pamgras, and my good friend for initiating these events that pay homage to our heroes. And I can see already future heroes in these young people here that so inspired me from their deliveries. And I thank them for being courageous and brave enough as to be contestants in this great event of extemporaneous speaking. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Architect Melva Rodriguez Hava, for your insights and comments. Up next to give a comment this time, we have the author, once again, of the 𝗲𝗏𝗶 City history book and former radio anchor, magazine editor, and newspaper columnist, Sir Ahmed Quezon.
Thank you. Maayong hapon natong tanan. I'm very humbled by what I heard today. No, the speakers are very eloquent, and I could not have done a better job myself if I were a contestant. No? So I think we all owe them a very big round of applause, please. Ato sila pakpakan. And by the way, upat ini nila are grade 6 students. No?
Yep. Yes.
I'm very surprised, no? Grade 6 pa sila, and yet tanawa ngilingig na kay sila manulti. Unsa na ka ni mga bata-ana in college ani o kay naka-presidente na nila, no? I hope nga they will not follow the example of some of our leaders today, who instead of improving their argument would rather shout and make whatever it is unholy pronouncements, no? I sincerely appreciate the invitation extended to me by Pamgras. Daghang salamat, no? Please keep on doing this, and I am not surprised at the way that you are honoring our heroes. Why? Pamgras is one of the outstanding organization awardees of the city of Cebu. A big round to Pamgras. Finally, I noticed na naamadi ay mga paryente ni General Maxilom dinhi. Kining number 1 o number 16, gawa ka to nga. Nga naman? Mahilom man sila.
Mahilom. Lucky birthday.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sir Ahmed. All right. Up next, let us hear the comment this time from a former philosophy and English lecturer from University of the Philippines, Cebu. Akong personal idol in film and theater, kay actress man po ni. We have Ma'am Merlinda, ang Betiktan.
Salamat. I would like to commend Pamgras Heritage Hotel. Kay kinahangan yun, we should make the young people be aware of the ancestry, the glorious ancestors that they have, the history that surrounds them, because unfortunately, bisan pagsultig binisaya, ang atong mga young people dili nakahibaw. Unfortunately, it saddens me because even my own grandchildren don't speak Cebuano anymore, which I would like them to do. Kay kinahangan, we have to own our language. I have tried to own the Cebuano language when I tried to make poetry in Cebuano, mga balak. Kinahangan, maninguha gyud ta. Kay kung dili makalimtan gyud ang atong sinugdanan, diin ang atong kagikan. And because I'm a Toastmaster, I would like to comment on the way the speeches were done, no? Kay kuan pagod sila, batanon pa sila, so they really started young, and that is what we are so happy about. And kami ni Jobert, since we are Toastmasters, lipay kaayo mi nga daghan ang mga bata nga nag-start na og extemporaneous speeches. When I was Voice of Democracy regional winner, part of the speeches were extemporaneous. So there were subjects, the topics were given to us beforehand, pero ang unsa nga topic ang atong makuha, ang imong makuha, just there at a few minutes before you would deliver. Kami sa Toastmasters, we have impromptu. We are trying to hone ourselves with impromptu speeches because kanang impromptu, wag yun kakahibaw, unsay imong isulti. You are given the topic right there and you're given what, 5 minutes? Do we have 5 minutes for that, 3 minutes? Or just from the time you stand to the time you go to the restroom, that's the time that you do your speeches. So, ang akong mahatag na tips would be, have a very strong opening and make sure you answer the points right away. Get to the points right away. Simple sentences that would get to the point. Kaya unfortunately, naa may points diri nga kinahangan imong itunong. Kung wa ka makatunong, bisan pagwapo kay imong enunciation, bisan pa gwapo kay imong body language, dili pwede na we will judge you according at par with those who were able to take up the points. Points like kinahangan you have to, about loyalty, kinahangan you have to get a specific person. Ug wala ka maka-point out a specific person when your topic is supposed to make you give a specific person. Ano gun kayo? So therefore, those are the things that you have to take into consideration, especially with extemporaneous. Short time yun na siya. So right away, opening, then the points that you're supposed to connect or to point out, to clarify, and then bahala maybe you'll have more time for an ending. Pero good ending sa gyud kay the judges will also remember how you ended your speech. Pero I would like to congratulate everybody here this afternoon. Pagkamayo! Magkamayo. You know that they have trained well and they are articulate. And you know they come from all over the province. Yep. Huh? So therefore we have students in the provinces, in Cebu province, that are already at par with the world's best. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Once again, Ma'am Marlinda. By the way, I would like to add something na grabe yun ang critique ni Ma'am. Even the way her comment, muna na po extemporaneous. Bitaw. I'm actually looking at the notes right now. So, Ma'am Marlinda is really taking notes. So, who knows, one of our contestants right now can join the Toastmasters. Who knows in the near future. Okay. By the way, later on, before I proceed to our last judge, later on to all our contestants, we'll have a group photo with our judges and of course with Miss A. And now, our last judge to deliver his comments. We have the news manager of GMA Regional TV and a university lecturer in journalism. Let us welcome once again Mr. 𝗄𝗶𝘁𝗵𝗋.
Salamat. Maayong gabi, nagmatapat ang tanan. I think I have to face them now because my message will be for the kids. Magsakit sa tuhod paminaw ng kids, referring to young guys as kids. Gikan man kung nagklase ganyan buntag, so let me be a little bit of a teacher today. And my first point actually is an addendum to what Madam Mayan said. But first of all, again, congratulations to everyone because it takes a lot of courage and it takes a lot of guts to go up that stage and not only face the judges, but actually face your critiques, right? Your teachers, your classmates, and your fellow contestants. So congratulations on that. So 3 points for everyone. These are actually essentially tips that I can share with you tonight. Number one is in relation to what Madam Mayan said, to go straight to the point. One way you can do that is to actually understand your question. And I think that's what we have observed earlier, that several quite could have missed the point because I think that we did not understand our question properly. So we have to read the question, what is really asked of you to answer, right? Read it properly and understand it well so you can answer it properly. Number two, please do not be too dependent on your pre-prepared answers. I know that many of you have prepared phrases, anecdotes, etc., so that you can just bring them all together to craft an answer to the question. But in most cases, that's not really going to be the case, especially if you go to higher competitions. Those of you who might be interested, unsa man ang Toastmasters ilang gisgutan, it's actually an international organization for public speaking and leadership. So if you want to get into that, you'll be exposed to many of these contests. And these contests particularly asks you to really understand a question, trains you to really understand a question, and think on your feet literally. Because you cannot just grab thoughts from the air and then put them together without coherence and without hitting the point. So it's okay to prepare, right? It's okay to have canned answers, as we call them or refer to them, but do not be dependent on them. Ultimately, it boils down to what the question is, how you understand it, but understand it well and understand it correctly and properly. And then thirdly, my third point is to try to, it's going to be very difficult, but try your best in future contests. Should you want to join other contests, do your best to drown the noise out. Earlier, I understand that it wasn't really a very ideal scenario or situation for delivering a speech because there were daghan nga murag mga noisy, around us, right? And I think several of you were even disturbed and even affected by the noise here and there because several times I had to ask nga, pwede mo lower gamay atong voices kaya ma-disrupt and ma-disturb ang contestant. So the ideal is for the room to be really silent as much as possible, for the contestant to really concentrate on the answer and not to be disturbed. But that's the ideal. Sometimes it doesn't happen that way. That's not going to be the case. So the challenge for the contestant is for you to drown the noise out. The tip I can give you, should the room be very noisy and disruptive, is to just focus at one person at the very end of the room and look at that person from the beginning and end of your speech. Just focus on that and you can drown the noise out. Okay, so those are the three, I think, practical tips that I believe that can help you in your future speeches. So I hope that you will continue speaking, but I think the very important tip I can give, and this is what I got from many of my speech mentors before, is to read, read, and read. There is nothing that can substitute reading. Read anything you can put your hands on, even if it's just the newspaper you can see from the palengke, because you will get something from there. And one of those days, you will get that thought and use it in your speeches. So congratulations once again, and I hope that you will continue speaking.
Thank you very much, Sir Joe. I hope everyone listened because aside from the comments, Sir Joe already gave very cohesive na mga advice that can help you soon, not just within your classroom, but even in other aspects in your life. And I like the tip that if you can concentrate, you can look at the back, because I believe that's also a tip in theater as well. You have to look at the people at the back, especially if you're a bit nervous. Don't look at the front people. They will really stare at you. Hanagita si pinakalikod. So, thank you very much, Sir Joe. Thank you, Ma'am Merlinda. Thank you, Sir Ahmed. And thank you, Ma'am Melva. Let us give our judges once again a big round of applause for their wisdom and their advice. Okay, now, once again, we will be announcing the winners through our page on November 30. Okay. Yeah, during the event, yes. And then, so again, thank you. We are still celebrating the birthday of General Maxilom, of course. You guys are brave, just like General Maxilom. Very brave to face not just the on-site audience, but also the online audience, okay? Because you don't know who you're facing, okay? It can be strangers, not necessarily your friends and family. And I do hope you continue to learn and also apply the knowledge you have acquired here, because I know, I myself, I was surprised with the wealth of knowledge from Sir Jobers about the life of General Arcadio Maxilom. So he's more than just a street. He is a legacy. He is our Cebuano hero, a brave Cebuano hero, just like our contestants and just like our youth. So padayon tang tanan. So before you go, once again, don't forget to like and follow our page, Palmgrass, the Cebu Heritage Hotel. And of course, we'd like to invite you for our events here in November, December, and Puhunika January, because of course we will celebrate Sinulog 2026 very soon. Okay, 2025, yeah, it's our 2025. Okay, na 2 years advance. 2025. So again, thank you very much. In behalf of Miss A and all the Palmgrass staff and crew, thank you very much. To our marching band, saghang salamat for providing us with your very energetic and jolly music. Let us give them a big round of applause. And to all our parents and teachers who accompanied, and to the following partners. Okay, we have Miss A here. We have DepEd Region 7, the 𝗏𝗏𝗵𝗶 Foundation Incorporated, the Central Visayas Association of Museums, and the Heritage Center. Also, we'd like to shout out also to the ancestors of General Arcadio Maxilom, who may be watching us tonight. So again, daghang salamat. Congratulations in advance to everybody. And let us have another performance coming from our Cebu City Marching Band. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to General. All right. And also, I would like to take this opportunity that aside from our historical content in Facebook, we also have books being sold downstairs. And these are books from Cebuano authors, just like Sir 𝗏𝗏𝗏 Mojares. And I believe Sir Jobers may have a book right there. And we also have unique stickers drawn, inspired by Cebuano history and myth. So once again, thank you very much to our on-site audience, salamat, and to our online audience as well. Thank you very much to our teachers and parents and to those who accompanied our contestants. At this point, after this photo shoot, we'd like to